Well, it's cold, it's chilly. We had a great night, to be fair though. We slept really, really well. Right up until the point where Cody had almost had an accident in the car. For those of you guys who've been watching, Cody has vestibular disease, but he also has old man incontinence problems, so he has to wear a wrap at night, otherwise he'll leak everywhere. But sometimes he has incontinence pooping too, or stress pooping, which will happen in the car when we're driving if I don't take him out. But then sometimes at night he just gets to the point where it's just, you know, it's like an upset stomach, you just can't stop it. So we almost had an issue last night, but we didn't. I got him out in time, but that's also another reason why it's good to be in an area that's contained, so I can just kick him out and he can go do his thing. So anyway, we are here at Flat Ford, which is a National Trust and an RSPB nature reserve. So we're gonna go check this out. It's some beautiful fall colors out there, and it is finally starting to warm up. So let's go check this out. Okay, come on. Well, he about had a heart attack moment. Cody took off after a guy, just following him as he did, and he couldn't hear me whistling for him, and he just kept going, and I'm like, oh my god, I've lost Cody. First time that's ever happened. Of course, we're walking by some locks now, which this would be a really cool place to bring a canal boat if you're coming in here, a lock, or a narrow boat, or whatever you want to call them. But what an absolutely stunning place. But this is one of the few working locks that we've come across. If you remember, we went to the Narrow Canal and that was old. They were still replacing parts of it, but this is an actual working lock through here. This area is definitely a haven for wildlife. We've got heron down here, hiding in amongst the reeds. So while there's very little drama in the landscape here, it is still a very unique kind of beauty, because the fens and the broads, they're wetlands and they are a haven for wildlife. Especially if you are a bird lover, this is the place to come. I've seen so many different kinds of birds out here. No kingfishers, but it's just beautiful out here. It's just not drama. Bit overgrowing this path, got some more bird life, but I'm walking through this, and if it was taller I'd be like thinking, in the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Now you guys, a whim away, a whim away, a whim away, a whim away, whim away. Alright, forget that. Apparently I'm having a good time though, so that's the important thing. So one thing I hadn't mentioned, and I'd seen it earlier but forgot to mention it, was the fact that this is what's called Constable country. And when I say Constable country, I mean John Constable, the very, very famous painter who lived in the late 1700s, early 1800s. And he wasn't born that far away from here, he was born in Suffolk. But it got me thinking, because these aren't massively dramatic landscapes, So what is it about a landscape or an image that inspires a painter like John Constable to paint that image? And what about it means that it's legendary, that it's become so famous and so well sought after? It just really got me thinking about what influences people in that sense, in art and in life. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful out here, but it just got me thinking, because things like the Lake District inspired Wainwright, and Scotland has, inspired countless artists and photographers and videographers myself, but it's what inspired John Constable about the Stour Valley. So we come down to Bawdsy Beach, Bawdsy Quay. Really quiet, but I can tell there's probably a lot of people who stay here overnight. Well, maybe not a lot, but there's a few vans along here. Look at this, right along the water right here. Well, where we're going to head up to now is we're going to go to Shingle Beach, because that's been a place that's recommended. So we're going to go check that out, and then hopefully find a place similar to this, but maybe a little bit quieter, to go spend the night. So we didn't quite go to Ipswich, I can't remember the name of the town, but it was easier to go elsewhere. This is the coat that we got Cody. Isn't this like the cutest thing? I don't condone coats and stuff, but this is like the warmest thing I could find. Just set me back an arm and a leg. I don't think my coat even cost this much, but I'm hoping that he's going to be warm. You can just about see him back there. Maybe sticking his nose up. So here we are, Shingle Beach, and this area was, it was populated by fishermen, people who, well, other than fishermen, I don't know. And it's designated an area of outstanding natural beauty, but also an area of special scientific interest, or SSSI, because of its unique nature. Now, it's partly because it's vegetated single, which isn't very common. The only other place that this really happens in the UK is down around Dungeness and I think Rye Harbour, where we've been before. But yeah, it's a very unique setup here. The Shingle Beach protects this little hamlet, I guess, if you want to call it that. It really doesn't surprise me looking at all this, that this is where the Saxons, the Anglo-Saxons landed, that this is where the Vikings came to shore. Sutton Hoo, just up the road, which is where we're going to go tomorrow, is, now I believe it's an Anglo-Saxon ship that was discovered there. But you can see why. I mean, miles and miles and miles of easy landing coastline, very, very difficult to protect. No cliffs, just easy to show up and just land. So you can see just how choppy the sea is, like right out here, but I think that's because there's a shingle bank right underneath it you can get out to at low water. A little bit like this one, which is obviously more visible at this point. You can see like the waves are now breaking way out there, and this is just smooth water, but if you look at it really closely, you can see just how fast that current is flowing all the way through here. So this is obviously probably a super, super dangerous place to get in the water, but all the way out there, is where the kite surfers, so it must be really good at the end of this with the current and the wind to do some kite surfing or some windsurfing out there. Absolutely incredible how different this is compared to anywhere else I've probably been. And this is yet another cool thing. So we're heading away from Shingle Beach, but this is part of the estuary right here, this little river. It's not massive, but obviously the tide is out right now and all the mud flats are visible, but you can see where the tide would come into. And all the birds that are out there kind of getting into the mud and getting all the critters out that they're eating. I don't know if it's crabs or worms or shellfish or what, but really cool to see. But yeah, you wouldn't want to be walking on that, that's for sure. We've left the beach behind, but so we're taking kind of a little bit of a loop back. Well, not a little bit of a loop, it is a loop, following the river as far as it goes, and it takes us in a nice, I guess it's been about 2-3 miles loop, goes straight back to the car. Really, really beneficial to have OS maps, guys. It's like, I find all these really neat little loops. I'm not covering the same areas, but anyway, we're almost back to the car. So let's go find camp for the night, shall we? So we're not camping where I thought we would end up camping, because I went there and I was thinking, okay, it's great, it's right on the beach, overlooking the ocean. Yeah, big wall, not gonna happen. So anyway, this is where we've ended up at. So basically, Bawdsy, whatever it was called, Quay, the ocean is right over there on the other side. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna chill here for a while, and then hopefully we get another epic sunset tonight, because that would be really, really cool. So yeah, not a bad spot though. I mean, I've got it all to myself right now. Yeah, I'm not actually going to make dinner tonight, just, I don't know, just didn't really feel like it. And there also forgot the cheese. I have no cheese, and you can't have pasta? No, sorry, that's terrible, isn't it? Yeah, you can't have pasta without cheese. Yeah, so we're leaving that for tomorrow, and I just had a sandwich tonight. Cody, no. Can I get the ball? Kai, over here. Lay down. Sadly, it doesn't look like we're going to get the same kind of epic sunset that we got last night. So if you look behind us, that's where the sun is just setting. We'll stick it out, see if might get some good color, but still not a bad spot at all to spend the evening, that's for sure. What is with your dirty nose, Kai? Dirty nose? Oh, you good girl. Alright guys, before we completely lose the light, this has been beautiful, and what an epic day. It has absolutely been stunning without the drama. So I'm going to love and leave you guys here. If you guys feel like supporting the channel at all, please go ahead and check out the store. I will leave a link to in the description below. But otherwise, I'm going to leave you guys here. And as always guys, take care of yourselves, take care of your mental health, and thanks for watching.